I'd like to welcome you to this 7th Annual Concussion Research Symposium. Very exciting for us to have reached the 150 mark in terms of registrants. So this is the largest number of registrants that we have had. Although they're not all here, some of them are still asleep, I suppose. This program was conceived by the folks shown on this banner, who are the 7 PIs, and when I relinquish the podium, Carmela Tartaglia, one of the chairs, Robin Green being the other, will take over for the rest of the program. Next slide, please. So we have been going since about 2010. My own interest in concussion was kindled by Karen Johnson. Karen, are you here? She often comes. She's a pioneer in the world, really, in concussion research, being one of the first neurosurgeons or neurologists who have taken a real interest in concussion in Canada. And she called me one day and said, Charles, about time you got above the shoulders. Now, I was already above the shoulders, having been in a trauma unit for about 20 years of my career and saw lots of brain injuries. But we didn't really think about concussion as a major problem at that time. But Karen felt that CHASM, which has been a leader in concussion management in our country, needed some more neurosurgeons involved in its first committee, which really was a landmark committee. In fact, it was about the first organized approach to concussion in sports, and came out with the revolutionary management principles in about 1999 that every concussed person should see a doctor, and also you should be removed from the game or practice in which you sustained your head injury. So those are revolutionary ideas at the time, but in fact have been adopted now worldwide. Two of the most important principles of the international consensus group in concussion, which continues to provide leadership internationally in concussion. So we have been going for about 10 years in our own concussion research unit. We see lots of patients, so we are also involved in patient management, and we also are involved in patient education with our support group, and also with educating the professionals, and that's what we're here to do today. And we've enjoyed putting this on every year and watching the advances roll by in concussion. It's really become a very hot topic, and we're pleased to be contributing. And I think you can see from this progress report that we've written a lot of papers, and we have grants, and we have collected quite a bit of funding through grants, and mainly, though, through our own hospital foundation, which has been very supportive of this Canadian Concussion Center. So that's really all I have to say, except welcome again, and thank you to our sponsors who are shown in your program. But in particular, I'd like to flag the Canadian Football League Alumni Association, which continues to be very supportive of our research in terms of sending its members for investigation. And also, we have financial support from the NHL PA and from the NHL itself, from the Ontario Brain Institute and the Ontario Neurotrauma Foundation. So thank you to our sponsors for supporting this event.